Today I'm going to be going over some of the improvements for the 2020 Cadillac XT5. This particular XT5 here is a premium luxury. The other two trim levels are luxury, which is now the base trim, and then there's a sport, which adds a few more features over the luxury, including all-wheel drive, black accents, and some other minor aesthetic changes. One of the major differences you can see right away on the 2020 is the different grille. They've gone away from the slats that just go side to side, and they've replaced it with this Galvano mesh, which looks really, really nice. Another thing that they've added is toward the bottom of the front fascia, there's a little piece of aluminum down at the bottom of the bumper, and that adds a really nice accent as well. Also standard on the 2020 XT5 are LED headlights on any trim, whereas on the 2019s and before, you had to get at least the premium luxury to get LED headlights. 18-inch wheels are standard on all XT5s except for the Sport. The Sport will come with 20-inch wheels, and these right here are the standard 20-inch wheels. Overall, the body shape and size hasn't changed any. They just kind of updated some of the styling. Coming around towards the rear, the taillights are a little bit different. They've actually added a little bit of a darker tail lamp shade, which looks a little bit more aggressive than the previous years. Also down towards the bottom of the rear fascia, just like the front, they've added a little bit of aluminum and enclosed the exhaust pipes, which gives it a little bit more of a premium look. Another change that they've made that Cadillac is doing on all cars is instead of putting the size of the engine on the back, they're putting the number 400, or on some cars you'll see a 350T, and what that is telling you is that is the measurement of the engine in Newton meters of torque. And it doesn't make much sense right now. Cadillac is kind of getting ahead of the game. When we start coming out with more electric vehicles, that's going to be the standard of how they measure the power. So it'll make more sense in future years. And this color is called Shadow Metallic. It's kind of a grayish blue. It's really, really pretty. All right, I'm going to step inside and go over some of the changes on the inside. Okay, inside, they've changed a little bit of the trim. So on this black interior, previously the trim inside, this part right here, and then right below the dashboard down here, would have been aluminum. They've replaced it with a really, really dark wood that looks really nice. And they've also added a piece of the same trim at the bottom of the steering wheel, which is hard to see in this light. Another thing that's changed is you can now disable the auto stop. Previously on other XT5s, they didn't include the button to stop it, so you had no way of disabling that feature. I think enough people griped about it that they added it into this one, which is definitely a good thing. Another thing that's changed is the shift knob. So on previous XT5s, to shift, you would have to hold the button on the side, which is still the same in this one. But instead of going just straight up to put it in reverse, you would have to do an awkward up and left motion that a lot of people were having issues with. So they've made it a lot easier now to shift into gear. And then for drive, it's still the same. You just pull it straight back. And then for park, you push the P button on the top. And while we're looking down here, we can look at the new rotary controller knob that they've added for the 2020 Cadillacs as well. So the knob right here, the big one, will control the infotainment screen. You can use it almost like a mouse. So you can twist it, you can click it, and then you can also move it side to side and up and down to select different parts of the screen. It's actually really intuitive and really easy to use. And then the buttons around it just take you to different portions of the screen. For instance, this little music note right here will take you to the radio. The little navigation thing right here takes you to nav, if it's equipped. The phone button obviously takes you to your cell phone, or if you have your phone plugged in, it'll take you either to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And then this little button right here just takes you back to the previous screen. The small knob at the top is for your volume, so there's no more volume slider right below the screen. And then the two buttons on the outside of that change your radio stations. Another thing that they've changed is they've gone to the new gauge cluster, which is a lot easier to read than the old style. So instead of having 3 small screens down below your gauge cluster, they give you one big screen in the middle that shows you all the information that you need. It's split up into 2 sections, top and bottom. In the top section, you've got your miles per hour, your cruise control, lane keep assist. It tells you if the headlights are on. So pretty much all the most pertinent information that you need to know. Down below is where you can customize. So you can have your radio, you can have different pieces of vehicle information, you can have navigation info, you can have your cell phone info if you have a phone connected, and then you can also change different settings. The steering wheel itself is the same as it was in the previous models, so there's nothing new to learn here. Another thing that's new are these Bose Premium Performance sound system that you get when you order the navigation package. These are a noticeable improvement over the previous generation XT5s. I'm not going to play them right now because it's kind of hard to show sound quality over a phone speaker. So if you want to hear what they sound like, you can always stop by and sit in one on the showroom floor and turn up the music a little bit and hear it. Just kind of going over some of the stuff in here. Another thing that they've improved on the XT5 is the equipment that you get when you only order a base. So on the 2017s, 18s, and 19s, if you got a base XT5, you missed out on things like a heated seats, a heated steering wheel, parking sensors, safety alert seat, LED headlights, some of the basic things that you would expect to get when you're buying a luxury vehicle. Now in the 2020 XT5, from the base model, you get things like emergency braking, collision alert, a safety alert seat, front and rear parking sensors, heated seats, automatic headlights, lane keep assist, pedestrian braking, remote start. I mean, all kinds of important safety features that you missed out on before. And I think that makes it a lot better value. Another thing that they've changed is the transmission. They've gone from an 8-speed to a 9-speed. And that makes a huge difference in terms of drivability. You get a lot more torque, it's a lot more efficient, it's a little bit quieter, and the shifts are smoother. They've also added more sound deadening to the chassis of the car, so the driving experience in this is significantly better than in previous models. So that's the 2020 XT5. If you have any other questions or you need some more information, you can always call us here at Frank Kent Cadillac. We would love to give you as much information as you need. Thank you for watching and have a great day.